India is not close to doing business with China, says Mr. Jaishankar. But it has banned certain services from China. Has it negatively impacted India? Let's find out together.
In India, telecom infrastructure is not built by Chinese companies. You have banned TikTok, you have banned Chinese operating systems. These are, of course, costly decisions. Advice you would have on the discussions that go on if the government takes these far-reaching decisions.
We are not close to business from China. I mean, this is the country, it's the second largest economy in the world. It's a premium manufacturer. So there's nobody who can say, I won't do business with China. The issue is, which sectors do you do business, on what terms do you do business? So it's far more complicated than a black and white binary answer.
I have two questions to Minister Jaishankar on the issue of economic security that already came up. On the one hand, this is an issue of government regulation, and your government has taken much more far-reaching decisions than many others, than our German government has. For example, you see, we make jokes here about our infrastructure and our telecom infrastructure. I understand that in India, telecom infrastructure is not built by Chinese companies. You have banned TikTok, you have banned Chinese operating systems. These are, of course, costly decisions, and I'd be interested in any advice you would have on the discussions that go on if the government takes these far-reaching decisions. And the second question, you've mentioned that, of course, India wants to upgrade its industrial sector. For that, you will, I guess, depend on Chinese investments too. So how does this relate? Economic security on the one hand, on the other hand, trying to seek investment from China in crucial sectors. Thank you.
You asked me a question, was it costly for you to do a switch? Here's the answer. We actually, for a variety of reasons, decided that we would ourselves take a plunge on 5G. Till that point of time, the 5G technology was either European or it was Chinese. Well, there was also Korean. Now, once we decided this is important for us, telecom means security. Now, it took us about 2.5, 3 years, really. Today, there's a massive 5G rollout, and the 5G stack is an Indian stack. So I would argue that, yes, it looks costly upfront, but then you might want to ask yourself, what is really the cost of security, and whether you've built it into the calculations that you're making. And once you make that plunge, then perhaps it's not so costly. Even business-wise, it's not so costly. I mean, we are today looking at markets for our 5G. So, on the issue of investments, look, we are not close to business from China. You know, I mean, this is the country, it's the second largest economy in the world. It's a premium manufacturer. So there's nobody who can say, I won't do business with China. I think the issue is, which sectors do you do business, on what terms do you do business? So it's far more complicated than a black and white binary answer.
So what do you guys think? Has not adopting certain things from China cost you something, you believe, in India or not? I would be very curious to know. I really like his argument about, for us, we view it in terms of security, and if we add up all the costs, it works out that it's actually cheaper for us to do those kind of measures. And it's interesting that India does that, like, for example, banning TikTok, whereas, let's say, everywhere else in the world it's not perceived as a security threat. And I would love to know what you guys think about it and why that is so, and what are the other things that are actually not being allowed by India. But I totally hear where Jaishankar is coming from. It does feel like you guys are, obviously very close to China, next door neighbors. So perhaps you might have intel or insights that other countries don't have. But I just wonder what would, that CIA must have definitely insights that perhaps also Indian government has, and why that is allowed there and not allowed, you know, in India. It's an interesting way of looking at banning certain things which are left unbanned in the other markets. I would love to know your thoughts on this, and please do let me know in the comments below. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video with me. If you did enjoy, please give thumbs up, share, like, and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next one. Until then, please do take care and sending lots of love. Bye.